There is a part of you that does not trust the quiet. A loyal and exhausted guard that stands watch at the very edge of sleep, unconvinced that this place, this night, is truly safe. It has learned, through hard and necessary lessons, that to let go is to become vulnerable, that to relax is to lower a shield that once kept you from harm. And so, while one part of you aches for the sweet oblivion of rest, this other part, this faithful protector, remains at its post, listening for dangers that have long since passed, scanning a horizon that is now, in this room, entirely peaceful. What a profound and lonely paradox to hold within one body. The deep, biological cry for rest at war with the deep, intelligent instinct for safety. And so, the quiet question of the night arises, not as a shout, but as a whisper from the tired corners of your soul. How do you convince a loyal soldier that the war is over? How do you ask this guard to stand down when its entire existence has been defined by its vigilance? Perhaps the path forward is not one of force. Perhaps we don't need to fight this guard, or trick it, or banish it from the kingdom of the self. Perhaps instead, we can simply bring it a cup of tea. Perhaps we can sit with it for a while, here in the darkness, and honor its long service. This journey, tonight, is not about forcing relaxation. It is about offering presence. It is about discovering the quietest form of acceptance, an acceptance so gentle it can be felt even by the parts of you that are the most afraid. So let's begin there, not with an expectation of sleep, but with a simple willingness to be here just as you are. Find the position in your bed that feels most honest for you right now. There is no perfect way to lie down, no posture you must achieve. Let your body settle as it will. If that means your limbs are tense and drawn in, so be it. If it means your shoulders are tight against your neck, let them be. For tonight, we are not correcting or fixing. We are simply noticing. We are bearing witness to what is true in this moment. Feel the surface beneath you. The mattress, the sheets, the pillows. Notice the way they are holding you, supporting your weight without question or demand. You do not have to hold yourself up. Gravity and the bed are doing that work for you. Let your body be as heavy as it truly is. Feel the weight of your head on the pillow, the weight of your shoulders sinking into the mattress, the weight of your hips and legs resting completely. This simple act of noticing your own weight is a way of coming home to the physical reality of this moment. You are here. You are in this bed, in this room. Notice the air in the room, the quality of it on your skin. Is it cool or warm, still, or moving gently? This air is filling the space all around you, a silent, invisible ocean in which you are resting. There is nothing you need to do about it. It is simply there. And what of the sounds? Perhaps there is a deep quiet, or the hum of a machine, or the distant murmur of the world outside. Whatever you hear, allow the sounds to be just what they are. They are part of the landscape of this moment. They don't need to be blocked out or ignored. They can simply pass through your awareness, like clouds drifting across the night sky. There is a profound peace in letting the world be exactly as it is, without needing it to change for you to find rest. And now, bring that same gentle, allowing attention to the landscape within, to the body that has carried you through this day and every day before it. Without judgment, simply notice where that faithful guard is stationed tonight. Where in your body do you feel its vigilance? Is it in the tightness of your jaw, a subtle clenching that has become so familiar? Is it in the shallow, watchful rhythm of your breath? A breath that stays high in the chest, ready to react. Perhaps you feel it as a knot in your stomach, or a tension across your forehead, or a restlessness in your legs. Wherever you feel it, let your awareness rest there gently. This is not a flaw. This is not a sign that you are broken or beyond repair. This tension is a story. It is the physical memory of a time when this level of alertness was necessary for your survival. It is the echo of a profound intelligence that learned how to protect you. And the fact that it is still here, still working so hard, is a testament not to your damage, but to your resilience. It is a sign of what you have endured. So, for just a moment, can we change our relationship to this tension? Instead of seeing it as an obstacle to sleep, can we see it as an old friend who doesn't know how to retire? A part of you that did its job so well, it forgot how to stop. Our intention tonight is not to force this part to stand down. Our intention is simply to let it know that we see it. We acknowledge its hard work, and we are going to sit with it right here, in the safety of this bed, in the quiet of this night. Let your breath be exactly as it is. Don't try to deepen it or slow it down. The body knows precisely how to breathe. Your only task is to feel it. Feel the air entering through your nose or mouth, and feel it leaving. Notice the subtle rise of your chest or belly on the inhale, and the gentle fall on the exhale. Each breath is an anchor to this present moment. Each exhale is a tiny, natural act of letting go. You let go of the air you just took in, without effort, without thought. The body does this for you, thousands of times a day. It knows how to release. Perhaps we can learn from this simple wisdom, not by forcing a release, but by noticing the one that is already happening, breath by breath. This is the foundation of our practice tonight. No striving, no forcing, no fighting. Just a quiet, curious companionship with yourself, exactly as you are. Acknowledging the guard at the gate, feeling the ground beneath you, and noticing the simple, steady rhythm of your own breathing. You are not trying to fall asleep. You are simply creating a space where sleep might feel safe enough to visit in its own time. And that begins with this moment of quiet acceptance, this willingness to be with the tension, to be with the watchfulness, to be with the fear, and to offer it nothing more than your calm, steady, and compassionate presence. There is nowhere else you need to be, and nothing else you need to do. Just this, just being here, resting in the truth of this moment, allowing everything to be exactly as it is. Let's stay with that guard for a little while longer. This watchful sentry at the gate of your rest. Without needing it to leave, without asking it to change, can we simply get to know it a little better? Can we approach it not as an intruder, but as a part of your own inner landscape, a feature that has been shaped by the weather of your life? Let's give it a name, just for now. Let's call it the Watcher, the part of you that is always listening, always scanning, always prepared. This is the essence of hypervigilance, a state of high alert that was once profoundly useful, but now continues its work even in the deep safety of your own bed. It's a constant low-level hum of readiness that prevents the deep surrender sleep requires. So, let's begin a gentle exploration, a soft inquiry into where this watcher resides in your body tonight. We are not searching for a problem to fix. We are simply mapping the territory with gentle curiosity. Let your awareness drift, like a soft light, to your sense of hearing. Notice the quality of your listening right now. Is it a relaxed, passive hearing, where sounds simply come and go? Or is there a subtle straining, an active listening for something? The kind of listening that tries to identify every creak of the house, every distant siren, every shift in the rhythm of the night. This is the listening of the watcher. It isn't just happening in your ears. It's a listening that happens with your entire nervous system, a body-wide antenna tuned to the frequency of potential threat. You don't have to stop it. Just notice that it is there. Acknowledge this incredible, sensitive apparatus that is working so hard to keep you informed, to keep you safe. Now bring that same soft light of awareness to your jaw. Without moving it, just feel into the muscles around the hinges of your jaw, the muscles in your cheeks and temples. Is there a hardness there? A subtle, or perhaps not so subtle, clenching? Often, we hold a lifetime of unsaid words, of bracing for impact, of getting through it, right here in these powerful muscles. This tension is one of the watcher's favorite outposts. It's a physical manifestation of holding on, of being ready. Again, there is no need to force it to relax. For now, the most powerful thing you can do is to simply feel it, to acknowledge its presence, to let the tension know that you are aware of it, that you see the story it is holding. Let your awareness travel now to your breath, which we noticed before. Let's feel into it more deeply. Where is it moving in your body? Does it feel full and deep, reaching down into your belly? Or does it feel like it's staying high up in your chest, shallow and quick? A guarded breath. This is the breath of readiness. A breath that sips just enough air to stay alert, but never dares to take a full, deep, vulnerable inhale or a long, sighing, complete exhale. It's a breath that doesn't fully trust the next moment will be safe enough to let go. This pattern is not a mistake. It is a masterpiece of biological engineering designed for survival. Your body learned that this way of breathing was the best way to stay prepared. Tonight, we just notice it. We feel the subtle, rapid rise and fall of the chest. We honor the wisdom that created this pattern. And what about your shoulders? Let your attention rest on them. Feel their position. Are they soft and wide, resting heavily on the mattress? Or are they drawn up slightly toward your ears, as if bracing for a blow or carrying a heavy, invisible load? This is the posture of responsibility, of protection. The shoulders often carry the weight of our vigilance. They become a shield, an unconscious armor against the world. Gently, just feel their position. Feel the energy held in those muscles. This energy isn't wrong. It's protective energy. It is the watcher, holding its shield in place. Throughout this gentle scan, from the listening ears to the tight jaw, the shallow breath to the armored shoulders, you may have noticed a common thread. None of these patterns are flaws. They are not signs of your being too damaged. They are evidence. They are the living archaeology of your experience. Each layer of tension is a testament to a time you learned you had to be on guard. It's a deeply ingrained pattern with a story, a purpose, a reason for being. This watcher, this sentry, is not your enemy. It is a part of you that took on the incredibly difficult job of keeping you safe in a world that did not always feel safe. It learned its job so well, it became a master of its craft. The problem is not its skill, but its context. It is still on duty, long after the immediate danger has passed. Understanding this changes everything. It moves us from a place of frustration with our own bodies, "Why can't I just relax?" to a place of compassion and curiosity. What is this part of me trying to protect me from? We shift from being at war with our own vigilance to becoming a gentle diplomat, seeking to understand its position. This is the beginning of a new conversation with yourself, not one of command, but of connection. You are not broken. You are a survivor whose body remembers its job perfectly. And as you lie here, simply feeling these sensations without judgment, you are already beginning to signal a new kind of safety to this watchful part of you. The safety of your own gentle, non-judgmental awareness. You are letting the watcher know that it doesn't have to do its job alone in the dark. You are here with it now, bearing witness to its tireless work. And that presence, that quiet, accepting company, is the most reassuring message of all. Let's deepen this conversation with the watcher. Now that we have located it, felt its presence in the body without judgment, let's turn towards its origin. Not with the intensity of an interrogation, but with the gentle respect you would offer an elder who holds a great deal of wisdom. Every part of us, every pattern and every habit was born for a reason. And this vigilant protector, this part of you that works over time to keep you safe, was born in a moment when you absolutely needed it. It is not an error in your system. It is a feature, a brilliant adaptation. Think back, if it feels safe to do so, not to a specific memory, but to the general feeling, the emotional climate of a time when letting your guard down was not an option, a time when you had to be exquisitely attuned to the moods of others, to the subtle shifts in your environment, to the possibility of emotional or physical danger. In that time, hypervigilance wasn't a problem. It was a solution. It was the skill that allowed you to navigate a difficult world. The ability to listen intently, to anticipate what might happen next, to keep your body tense and ready to move. These were your superpowers. They helped you survive. This watcher wasn't born out of fear, but out of a profound and fierce love for you. It is the part of your own life force that stood up and said, "I will protect this person. I will keep them safe no matter what it takes." And it has been doing that job faithfully ever since. It has been on duty day and night, without a break, without a word of thanks, for years, perhaps even decades. The strategies it uses, the tight jaw, the shallow breath, the listening ears, are the very tools it perfected to ensure your survival. So, can we, just for tonight, reframe this entire experience? The guard at the gate of your sleep is not an enemy to be defeated. It is not a malfunction to be fixed. It is one of the most loyal and dedicated parts of you, a part that learned its job almost too well. It's like a loyal dog that was trained to bark at every sound to protect the house. The training was perfect. The loyalty is absolute. But now you live in a quiet neighborhood, and the dog still barks with the same ferocity at a leaf blowing past the window. You wouldn't get angry at the dog. You would feel a sense of compassion for its tireless, misplaced devotion. You would gently reassure it, "It's okay, boy. We're safe now. You can rest." This is the kind of gentle, compassionate communication we are learning to have with ourselves. It starts with honoring the origin story of this protector. It begins with gratitude. So, as you lie here, feel into that tension once more. But this time, see if you can feel the loving intention behind it. Beneath the tightness in your shoulders, can you sense the desire to shield you, Beneath the clenching in your jaw, can you feel the determination to hold things together? Beneath the shallow breath, can you feel the readiness to act on your behalf? This is a radical shift in perspective. It moves us out of the realm of self-criticism and into the realm of self-compassion. The patterns you may have judged as anxiety or damage are, in fact, monuments to your own strength. They are the artifacts of a successful survival strategy. Let this affirmation sink into your bones, into the very cells of your body. Your body's memory is a testament to what you have survived. It is not a sign of being broken. It is a sign of being brilliantly adaptive. Say it to yourself, silently, like a quiet truth you are finally willing to own. My body's memory is a testament to what I have survived. Feel the truth of that. The fact that you are here, in this bed, breathing, living, seeking rest, is proof that the Watcher's strategies, however costly, worked. You made it through. And this part of you, this tireless sentry, played a crucial role in that journey. So let's offer it a moment of pure acknowledgement. You can do this with a silent internal nod, or by placing a hand gently over the part of your body where you feel the tension most strongly, your chest, your stomach, your jaw. And with that touch, or with that internal nod, you can send a simple message. A message of thanks. Thank you for working so hard to protect me. Thank you for your unwavering loyalty. I see you. I recognize your service. This is not about asking it to stop. It's not about trying to make it go away. It's the first step in building a new relationship, one based on trust and mutual respect. You are acknowledging its past role and its powerful history. You are letting it know that its efforts have not gone unnoticed. For a part of you that has worked in the shadows for so long, this simple act of being seen, of being acknowledged, can be profoundly calming. It's like a soldier at a lonely outpost finally getting a message from headquarters. A message that simply says, "We know you're there. We haven't forgotten you." This acknowledgement doesn't need to change anything right away. The tension might still be there. The watchfulness might remain. But the quality of your relationship to it has begun to shift. You are no longer fighting it. You are sitting with it, honoring its story, and recognizing its profound, protective love for you. This is the ground from which all true rest grows, not from battling our inner demons, but from making peace with our inner protectors. By understanding that every part of us, even the most difficult and painful parts, are ultimately on our side, trying, in their own way, to help us. And in this moment of quiet recognition, you are planting a seed of safety. A safety that comes not from the absence of threat, but from the presence of your own deep, compassionate understanding. Now that we have honored the Watcher's noble origins, let's turn our attention with that same gentle curiosity to the present-day cost of its tireless service. Because while its vigilance once ensured your survival, its continued, unrelenting presence comes at a price paid by your body, your energy, and your spirit. Let's explore this not as a complaint, but as a simple, honest accounting. Feel, for a moment, the sheer physical exhaustion that lives in your bones. Not just the tiredness from a long day, but a deeper, more profound fatigue. It's the weariness that comes from an engine that is never fully turned off. Imagine a car that is left idling all night, every night. The engine is running, fuel is being consumed, and there is a constant, low-level vibration. By morning, the car hasn't gone anywhere, but its resources are depleted. This is what happens in a body that cannot fully stand down. This is the fatigue of hypervigilance. It's the energy it takes to keep your muscles braced, even slightly. The energy it takes to keep your senses on high alert. The energy it takes to run 1,000 what-if scenarios in your mind. This is not a failure of your body. It is the logical consequence of a system working overtime. Allow yourself to truly feel this exhaustion without judgment. Let it be as real and as heavy as it is. It is a valid and important part of your current experience. It is the body's way of telling you just how hard it has been working. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and your neck. Feel the deep-seated tension that might live there. The knots, the tightness, the aches that feel like they've been there forever. This is the physical cost of holding that shield, of carrying that invisible weight we spoke of earlier. Day after day, your body has been holding a posture of readiness, and these muscles have been bearing the brunt of that effort. They haven't had a chance to fully release, to soften, to let go of their load. So, as you lie here, you are not imagining this tension. It is a real, physiological state, a collection of muscle fibers that have been in a state of chronic contraction. And the fatigue you feel is the cry of these muscles, begging for a moment of true rest. Let your attention drift down into your back, your hips, your legs. Perhaps you feel a similar story there. A restlessness, an inability to get comfortable, a sense that you need to move even when you are lying still. This, too, is the energy of the watcher. It's the body's readiness to flee, to fight, to take action. It's a primal survival energy that, without a real threat to respond to, gets trapped in the system, showing up as physical agitation and an inability to settle. This isn't a flaw in you. It's a feature of a highly effective survival machine. The cost is simply that the off switch has become hard to find. It's important to normalize this. The exhaustion you feel, the tension, the restlessness, it is completely and utterly normal for someone whose nervous system has been shaped by your experiences. It is the logical outcome. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are not failing at relaxation. You are simply experiencing the physiological effects of a protector who has been standing watch for a very, very long time. Here is an analogy that might help. Imagine a soldier who was stationed at a remote outpost during a long and difficult war. For years, their job was to be awake, alert, and ready for anything at a moment's notice. They slept with one eye open, their hand on their weapon. Their survival and the survival of their comrades depended on this state of extreme vigilance. Then one day, the war ends. The message of peace is sent out. But for this one soldier at this remote outpost, the message never arrives. And so, they continue their watch. Years go by. The world outside has moved on. There is peace. But for this soldier, the war is still very much real. They are still scanning the horizon, still listening for the enemy, still living in that state of high alert. They are exhausted. Their body is worn down, but they cannot stop because they don't know that it's safe to. They are simply doing the job they were trained to do, the only job they know. This loyal soldier is your watcher. It is a part of you still fighting a war that in this moment, in this bed, is over. The exhaustion you feel is its exhaustion. The tension in your body is its battle readiness. And the inability to sleep is its unwavering commitment to its post. When we see it this way, how can we feel anything but a deep, profound compassion for this part of ourselves? How can we be angry at it for doing its job so perfectly? The problem is not the soldier's loyalty or skill. The problem is that it has not yet received the news that it is safe to come home. Tonight, our work is not to force this soldier to abandon their post. That would feel like a betrayal of their duty. Our work is simply to sit with them at the outpost, to bring them a warm blanket, to share the quiet of the night with them, and to gently, through our own calm presence, begin to broadcast a new message. A message not of command, but of reality. The message that, here, in this bed, tonight, we are safe. The battle is not raging here. You have done your job. You have brought us through. And your exhaustion is seen, and it is honored. Time 2.5s. Feeling the full weight of this fatigue, this physical cost, is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to validate you. It is meant to help you understand, on a deep somatic level, that your struggle to relax is not a personal failure. It is the honorable fatigue of a veteran protector who has never been properly relieved of their duty. And your presence here, your willingness to lie down and try to rest, is the first step in creating a safe harbor where this soldier can finally begin to feel safe enough to lower their weapon and consider the possibility of peace. And so, resting here in the truth of that exhaustion, feeling the deep physical cost of the watcher's long vigil, a powerful understanding can begin to dawn. It is an understanding that can release a lifetime of shame, frustration, and self-blame. It is this: of course you feel this way. Of course your body is tense. Of course relaxation feels suspicious. Of course sleep feels elusive and unsafe. Given the story that is written into your nervous system, given the training your watcher has received, how could it be any other way? Let this phrase, of course, become a gentle mantra, a wave of profound validation washing over you. When you feel the tension in your jaw, instead of fighting it, can you whisper to yourself, "Of course my jaw is tight." It learned to hold on, to brace for impact, to keep things from falling apart. When you notice the shallow, watchful quality of your breath, can you meet it with, "Of course my breath is cautious." It learned to stay ready, to not be caught off guard, to fuel alertness. When you feel that jolt of anxiety as you start to drift off, that feeling of being pulled back from the edge of sleep, can you say, "Of course my system is alarmed"? It learned that the moment of letting go is the moment of greatest vulnerability. This is not an excuse. It is an explanation. A deep, compassionate, and logical explanation for your experience. For so long, you may have been told by others or by yourself that you should just relax, that you should let it go, that you just need to get a good night's sleep. And every time you failed to do so, it may have felt like a personal failing, another piece of evidence that you are indeed too damaged, too broken. But what if the logic was flawed all along? What if you were trying to solve the wrong problem? You were trying to force a state of relaxation onto a nervous system that, for very good reasons, equated relaxation with mortal danger. Of course that didn't work. It's like telling our loyal soldier at the outpost to just relax while they still believe the enemy is in the woods. They would look at you as if you were mad. Their entire being is organized around the principle of readiness, and you are asking them to do the one thing that feels like a betrayal of their mission. For the watcher inside you, relaxation is not a peaceful state. It is a dereliction of duty. It is a terrifying drop in security. So, of course, your body resists it. Your body is not being stubborn. It is being intelligent. It is operating based on its own deeply held wisdom, a wisdom forged in the fires of past experience. It is trying to keep you safe, using the only tools it knows. When we truly grasp this, the shame begins to dissolve. The frustration with our own bodies begins to soften. We stop seeing ourselves as the problem. We are not broken. We are logical. Our feelings, our bodily responses are not wrong. They are the echoes of a wisdom that once kept us safe. They are the ghosts of old bodyguards, still walking the halls, checking the locks, ensuring the perimeter is secure. They are simply out of date. Their information is no longer current for this moment, in this bed. Releasing the shame around this is a monumental step. It's like taking off a heavy, soaking, wet coat that you've been wearing for years. The coat of, I should be better at this. The coat of, what's wrong with me? The coat of, why can't I be like everyone else? In its place, you can wrap yourself in the warm, dry blanket of course. This simple phrase honors your past. It validates your present. And it creates a much kinder, more spacious ground from which to move into the future. It allows you to be exactly where you are, without the added burden of judging yourself for being there. So, as you lie here, take a moment to notice any feelings of frustration or shame that might be present. See if you can gently meet them with this new understanding. You are not failing. You have been succeeding at survival for a very long time, and the patterns you are experiencing tonight are the aftershocks of that success. Your feelings are not the enemy. They are simply messengers from the past, delivering old news. We don't need to shoot the messenger. We just need to hear the message with compassion, and then gently update them with new information. The new information is this moment, the softness of your pillow, the weight of your blanket, the quiet in the room. This present moment reality is the new intelligence we can begin to offer the watcher. Not by arguing with it, but by simply embodying a state of non-judgmental awareness. This is a profound act of self-love. It is the beginning of creating an internal environment of safety, one where the watcher might eventually feel that it can, at long last, take a well-deserved rest. So let that validation sink in. Of course I feel this way. It is the most logical, most intelligent, most understandable feeling in the world, given your journey. Let go of the fight. Let go of the struggle to be different from how you are. For this moment, just allow the truth of your experience to be what it is, held in the cradle of this deep, compassionate understanding. There is immense peace to be found, not in changing our feelings, but in changing our relationship to them. And that change begins with these two simple, powerful words, of course. Now, resting in that place of profound validation, in the gentle cradle of course, we can begin a small, quiet experiment. An experiment with no goal, no pressure, and absolutely no possibility of failure. Because we now understand that aiming for relaxation is like asking the watcher to abandon its post entirely. It's too big of a leap. It feels unsafe. So, we're not going to do that. Instead, we are going to introduce a new idea, a much smaller, more manageable one. We are going to aim for neutrality, just a brief moment of non-tension, a tiny pocket of stillness. We're not trying to flood the system with calm. We're just looking for a single drop of neutrality in the ocean of vigilance. Think of it this way. If the watcher's state is a tightly clenched fist, we are not trying to open the hand completely. That's too much, too soon. We are simply exploring the possibility of the fist being 1% less clenched. Just for a second. This is the concept of micro-softening. It's an invitation, not a command. It is an exploration, not a task. The beauty of this approach is that it flies under the watcher's radar. A demand for relaxation triggers the alarm system, but a quiet, curious inquiry about the possibility of a tiny shift. That's often subtle enough to be allowed. It doesn't feel like a threat. So let's begin this gentle experiment together. Let your awareness come back to your body, just as it is. Feel the areas of tension that we noticed before: the jaw, the shoulders, the stomach, the hands. Choose just one of these areas, perhaps the one that feels most prominent, or perhaps one that feels less charged. It doesn't matter which one. For this experiment, let's focus on one hand. Simply bring all your quiet, gentle attention to your right hand or your left, whichever feels more natural. Notice how it is resting. Are the fingers curled? Is the palm open? Is there a subtle tension in the knuckles or in the wrist? Don't try to change anything. Just feel it. This is the hand's current state of being, and it is perfectly okay. Now, here is the experiment. Can you offer this hand the smallest possible permission to soften? We are not instructing it to relax. We are not commanding it to let go. We are simply whispering an internal invitation. You have permission to be 1% less tense, if that feels possible right now. That's all. It's a question, not an order. And the answer might be no. The hand might remain exactly as it is. And if that is the case, that is a perfect result for this experiment. Because the goal was not to change the hand, but to offer the permission. The act of offering gentle permission is the practice itself. But perhaps, just perhaps, as you offer this quiet invitation, you notice a tiny shift, a micro-softening. Maybe one finger uncurls just a fraction of a millimeter. Maybe a subtle warmth spreads through the palm. Maybe the tension in the wrist eases by the smallest imaginable degree. It might be a change so small you can barely detect it. But if you feel it, just notice it. Acknowledge this tiny moment of release. This is not a victory. It is simply information. It is new data for the nervous system. It is a single, quiet piece of evidence that a state other than high tension is possible, even for a fleeting moment. Let's try it again, perhaps with another area. Bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. Often, we hold a great deal of tension here, a subtle furrow of concentration or worry. Just feel whatever is there, the tightness, the contraction, and then offer the same gentle permission. You have permission to soften, just a tiny bit. You have permission to be 1% smoother. Again, there is no need to force it. Just make the offer, and then wait. Observe. What do you notice? A tiny release? A feeling of space opening up? Or nothing at all? Whatever happens is fine. The practice is in the gentle offering, not the outcome. Why is this so powerful? Because it begins to gently challenge the watcher's core belief that tension is the only safe state. It introduces a new possibility, but in a way that is so small, so non-threatening, that it doesn't trigger a backlash. It's like introducing a new, friendly animal to a very shy and cautious pet. You don't just throw them in a room together. You let them exist in the same space, at a distance, allowing them to get used to each other's presence slowly, over time. Each micro-softening is a moment of peaceful coexistence between vigilance and ease. It proves they can exist in the same body at the same time. You don't have to eradicate the tension to find a moment of neutrality. This is a profound shift. It frees you from the all or nothing trap of, I'm either tense or I'm relaxed. It introduces the vast, nuanced landscape that lies in between. You can be 99% vigilant and 1% soft. And that 1% is a seed. It's a starting point. It's a quiet anchor in a different kind of reality. So, for the next few moments, as you continue to lie here, just play with this idea. Let your awareness drift through your body, to your lips, your shoulders, your belly, your toes. And in each place, offer this small, gentle permission. Permission for just one muscle to be 1% less tense. For just a moment. No goals, no expectations. Just a quiet, curious exploration of the smallest possible softening. This is not about trying to relax. It is about discovering that even within the fortress of vigilance, there are small, quiet gardens where a little bit of softness can be allowed to grow. From the A place of gentle permission, let's bring our attention to one of the most powerful and yet subtle anchors we have, the breath. Now, hearing the word breath in a meditative context can sometimes trigger its own kind of tension. We've often been told to take deep, calming breaths, and when we're in a state of high alert, that can feel like an impossible command. For the watcher, a deep, vulnerable breath can feel like letting down the drawbridge of the castle. It can signal a lack of readiness. So tonight, we are going to approach the breath in a radically different way. We are not going to try to change it at all. Not its depth, not its pace, not its rhythm. Our only task is to notice it, and specifically, to notice one particular moment in its cycle. We are going to become interested in the pause at the end of the exhale. Let your awareness rest on the simple, physical sensation of your breathing, just as it is. Feel the air come in and feel the air go out. Don't add anything to it. Don't judge it as too shallow or too fast. It is simply the breath your body needs in this moment, and we are going to trust its wisdom completely. Follow one breath as it flows into your body. Feel the subtle expansion, and then follow it as it flows out. Feel the gentle release. And right there, at the very end of the out-breath, before the next in-breath begins, there is a pause. It might be incredibly short, just a fraction of a second, or it might be a little longer. For most of us, most of the time, this pause goes completely unnoticed, but it is a moment of profound significance. It is a moment of natural, effortless release. In that tiny space, you are not breathing in, and you are not breathing out. You are simply empty. You are in a state of pure stillness. There is no effort. The body has let go of the air it just used, and it has not yet begun the work of taking in the next breath. This is the body's natural resting point. It is a built-in moment of letting go that happens thousands of times a day, completely on its own. Our practice for the next few moments is simply to notice this pause, to become a connoisseur of the moment the exhale ends. Let the next breath come in naturally, and as it flows out, ride the wave of the exhale all the way to the end. And then, just for a moment, rest in the stillness that you find there. Feel it, that tiny gap, that moment of nothing. Then the next inhale will arise on its own when your body is ready. You don't have to make it happen. You are letting go of the need for deep, calming breaths, which can feel like a chore, and instead, you are discovering the inherent relief that already exists in every single, simple, natural out-breath. This is so much gentler. We are not manufacturing calm. We are discovering the calm that is already woven into the very fabric of our biology. The analogy is simple but powerful. Imagine your state of vigilance is a tightly held fist. Trying to force the hand open is a struggle. It creates resistance. But what if, instead, you just focused on the tiny space between your fingers? What if you realized that even in the tightest fist, there is still space? This pause at the end of the exhale is that space. It's the natural gap. And by placing your attention there, you are not fighting the fist. You are simply inhabiting the space that already exists. Let's try it again. Follow the next out-breath. Let it be as long or as short as it wants to be. And as it leaves your body, feel the subtle release of tension that goes with it. The exhale is the body's natural way of letting go. It releases carbon dioxide, but it also releases physical and emotional tension. And then at the end, that quiet pause. In that moment, the watcher is, for just a fraction of a second, off duty. The system is in neutral. This is a micro vacation for your nervous system. By simply noticing it, you are amplifying its effect. You are telling your body, this moment of release is also real. This stillness is also a part of my experience. You are adding a new piece of data to the system, one that gently balances the constant data of alertness. This is not about achieving a perfectly calm state. You may notice the pause on one breath, and then your mind may wander for the next 10. That's perfectly fine. When you remember, you just gently come back to noticing the next exhale, all the way to its soft conclusion. This practice changes the breath not by force, but by awareness. As you repeatedly bring your attention to this moment of release, the nervous system starts to get the message. It begins to understand that this pause is a safe place. And over time, without you even trying, you might notice that the pause naturally begins to lengthen. The exhale itself might become a little longer, a little slower. But this happens as a result, not as a goal. It is the body learning to trust the release because you have shown it that it is safe to pay attention to it. Let's use our fist analogy one more time. Focusing on this pause is like allowing a single grain of sand to fall out from between the fingers of that tightly held fist. It doesn't change the fist dramatically, but one grain falls. And then, with the next breath, another grain falls. And then another. And over time, without ever forcing the hand open, you may find that the grip has naturally, almost imperceptibly, softened. All because you shifted your focus from the tension to the tiny available space of release. So just rest here, with this one simple conscious exhale, noticing the end, resting in the pause, allowing the next breath to arise all on its own. There is nothing more to do. Just this gentle, profound act of witnessing the release that is already yours. From the gentle rhythm of the breath and the discovery of that quiet pause, let's embark on another small, curious exploration. We have acknowledged that the feeling of vigilance might be spread throughout your entire body, a global state of alert. And trying to make the whole body feel safe at once can feel overwhelming, an impossible task for the watcher to agree to. So, we won't even try. Instead, we are going to search for just one safe square inch. One tiny part of your body that right now, in this moment, feels neutral. Or perhaps even slightly at ease. We are not looking for profound relaxation. We are looking for the absence of tension. We are looking for simple neutrality. This place might be very small, and it might be somewhere you would never expect. It is a quiet corner of your inner kingdom that is, for whatever reason, not currently occupied by the Watcher's guards. So, let your awareness begin to drift through your body like a soft, gentle breeze, not looking for problems, but searching for this one small pocket of non-tension. Start with your hands. We explored them before. Is there a fingertip, perhaps the tip of your little finger, that feels completely neutral? It's not tense, it's not relaxed, it's just there. Simple, present, without any particular charge. If you find it, let your attention rest there. Feel the simple sensation of that one fingertip, the air on the skin, the contact with the sheet. Let this be your anchor for a moment. What about your earlobes? This is often a place that doesn't hold much tension. Can you bring your awareness to one of your earlobes? Feel its shape, its temperature, its softness. It is likely just quietly existing, uninvolved in the larger story of vigilance being held in your jaw or shoulders. It is a small, peaceful territory. If this feels true, then for now, your entire universe of awareness can shrink down to the size of your earlobe. Let everything else fade into the background. Just be with the simple, neutral sensation of your earlobe. Perhaps you can find this neutrality in an unexpected place. The space behind one of your knees, the very top of your head, beneath your hair, the bridge of your nose, one of your toes, tucked away under the blanket. The search itself is a gentle, meditative act. You are scanning your body, not for what is wrong, but for what is, even in a very small way, already right. You are shifting your focus from the signal of threat to the signal of neutrality. This is profoundly important. It is an act of redirecting your attention, which is one of the most powerful skills we can cultivate. The Watcher is excellent at finding all the places that feel tense, because that's its job. Your job, right now, is to become excellent at finding the one place that doesn't. When you find it, and take your time, there is no rush. Let your awareness settle there completely. Breathe with this small area. Imagine your breath could flow into and out of this one safe square inch. Let this tiny part of your body be a sanctuary, an embassy of peace within a nation on high alert. You are not trying to spread this feeling. You are not trying to make your whole body feel like your earlobe. The goal is much simpler: to fully inhabit this one small pocket of non-tension, to let it be your anchor in the present moment. This practice is based on a profound neurological truth. The brain can only focus on a limited number of things at once. When you choose to place your full attention on the neutral sensation of your fingertip, you are, by definition, placing less attention on the tense sensation in your jaw. You are not fighting the tension. You are simply choosing to focus on something else that is equally true, equally real in your present experience. Let this affirmation settle in, a quiet whisper to the deepest parts of your mind. You don't need to feel safe everywhere at once. One small, quiet corner is more than enough to begin. This takes all the pressure off. You are released from the impossible task of fixing your entire system. All that is asked of you is to find and befriend one square inch of your own body. This one small spot becomes your home base. Whenever your mind gets caught up in worry, or you become overwhelmed by the feeling of tension, you can gently guide your awareness back to this spot, back to your neutral fingertip, back to your quiet earlobe. It is always there, waiting for you. A simple, uncomplicated truth in the midst of a complex inner world. It is a reminder that even on the most difficult nights, even when vigilance feels all-consuming, there is always a part of your physical experience that is simply neutral, untouched, at peace. This is not wishful thinking. It is a direct, felt experience. By focusing on it, you are watering a seed. You are giving energy and attention to the part of your experience that feels like safety, however small. And what we give our attention to grows. Over time, as you practice this, you may find that the safe square inch begins to expand, all on its own. The neutrality of your fingertip might start to spread into your palm. The ease in your earlobe might soften the side of your face, but this is not the goal. It is just a possible side effect. The true practice is simply in the finding and the resting. Finding the one small spot and resting your weary mind there. It is an act of profound kindness to yourself. It is a way of saying, I know this is hard. Let's find a quiet place to sit for a while, right here, inside our own skin. And in that small, quiet corner, a new story can begin. A story not of damage, but of resourcefulness. A story of finding peace, not by winning a war, but by discovering the quiet, forgotten corners where the war never even reached. Rest here now, in your one safe square inch. Let it be enough, because for tonight, it truly is. Having found that one small, safe square inch, that quiet anchor of neutrality in the body, let's allow our perspective to widen, just for a moment. We've spent a lot of time, with great compassion, acknowledging the watcher and the story of survival that created it. We've named the tension as evidence of what you have endured. Now, let's shift the lens slightly. Let's turn our attention from what feels damaged to what has, against all odds, endured. Let's begin to tell the story of your resilience. The fact that you are here, lying in this bed, seeking rest in the face of such a powerful internal protector, is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound act of courage. Every single day, you wake up and you live your life, carrying the invisible weight of this vigilance. You navigate relationships, you handle responsibilities, you solve problems, all while a part of your nervous system is operating on high alert, consuming vast amounts of your life force energy. Think about that for a moment. Acknowledge the incredible, often unrecognized, strength that is taken for you to simply get through each day. Most people have no idea about the inner battle you are navigating. They only see the surface, but you know the truth of the effort involved. You know the exhaustion that comes from having to manage not just the outer world, but this complex, demanding inner world as well. This is not a story of being broken. This is the story of being a quiet warrior. It is the story of a deep, abiding strength that has carried you this far. Let your mind drift over the challenges you have faced in your life, the ones that taught the watcher to be so diligent. You survived them. You are here, on the other side of them. The strategies of survival, as costly as they have been, were ultimately successful. And the part of you that got you through, the part that endured, is still with you. It is the same part that is seeking rest tonight. It is the part that holds a deep, innate wisdom about healing and wholeness. This part of you has never been damaged. It is the unbreakable core of your being. The watcher, in its own way, is a servant to this core, trying to protect it. But the core itself, your essential self, is whole. It has always been whole. The challenges of life are like storms that pass over the ocean. They can create massive, terrifying waves on the surface. But in the great depths of the ocean, There is always a profound stillness, an unshakable calm. Your resilient core is that deep, quiet place. The hypervigilance, the tension, the fear, these are the waves on the surface. They are real, they are powerful, and they must be navigated. But they are not the entirety of who you are. You are also the deep. So, can you, just for a moment, connect with that deep, quiet strength within you? It might not feel strong in the way we usually think of strength, like armor or muscle. It might feel more like a quiet persistence, the strength of a tree that grows in a difficult place, bending with the wind, but never breaking. Time. 2.5s. The strength of water that over time can smooth the sharpest stone. This is the quality of your resilience. It is a soft strength, a yielding power. It is the courage to keep showing up for yourself, to keep seeking peace, to keep trying to find a new way forward, even when you are exhausted. Compliment yourself for this. Silently, from the deepest part of your heart, offer yourself a word of genuine praise. The fact that you are here, seeking rest despite it all, is a profound act of courage. Let that land. Feel the truth of it. You could have given up. You could have resigned yourself to a life of tension and sleeplessness, but you didn't. You are here. You are listening to these words. You are engaging in this process. That is not an accident. That is your resilient core, your life force, actively moving you towards healing. This is incredibly important to recognize because the watcher's narrative can be very loud. Its story is often one of danger, threat, and damage. It is constantly scanning for what is wrong. By consciously shifting our focus to the story of resilience, we are not denying the watcher's reality. We are simply adding another, equally true story to the mix. We are balancing the narrative. The story of what happened to you is true, and the story of the strength that got you through it is also true. Both exist within you. For so long, you may have only focused on the first story. Tonight, we are making space for the second. As you lie here, feel into that strength. It may be quiet, but it is there. It is in the steady, rhythmic beat of your heart. A heart that is kept beating through every single moment of your life, the hard ones and the good ones. It is in the gentle, constant flow of your breath, a breath that has nourished you without fail. It is in the very cells of your body, each one a tiny engine of life, working tirelessly to heal and maintain you. You are a walking, breathing miracle of resilience. And the more you can connect with this truth, the more you can embody it, the safer the watcher will begin to feel. Because it will start to realize that it is not the only one in charge of your protection. It will begin to sense that there is a deeper, wiser, more powerful force at your core, a force that knows not just how to survive, but how to thrive. By reconnecting with your strength, you are becoming the wise and compassionate leader that the watcher has been waiting for. You are becoming the one who can finally say, with calm authority, "I've got this now. We are safe." You can rest. Resting in that quiet recognition of your own deep resilience, feeling the truth of the warrior spirit that has brought you this far, we can now approach the watcher from a place of newfound strength and compassion. We are not approaching as a victim pleading for release, nor as a frustrated owner trying to silence a barking dog. We are approaching as a wise and grateful leader, ready to have a respectful conversation with a long-serving, loyal employee. This is a crucial step, a gentle, internal dialogue with this vigilant part of yourself. It is an act of integration, of bringing this isolated, hard-working part back into the fold of the whole self. We are going to offer it two things it has likely never received before: profound gratitude for its service and clear, reassuring information about the present moment. Let's begin this dialogue not with words, but with a feeling. Bring to mind, once again, the image of that loyal soldier at the remote outpost, the one who never got the message that the war was over. Feel a wave of genuine appreciation for their dedication, their sacrifice, their unwavering commitment. Let this feeling of gratitude fill your heart. This is the energy you are going to communicate with. Now, in the quiet of your own mind, you can begin to form the words. You can speak them silently, as if you are talking to a respected friend who is sitting beside you in the dark. Find your own words, but they might sound something like this. Hello, I know you're there. I've been feeling your presence, your hard work, for a long time. And tonight, I just wanted to say thank you. Pause there. Let that simple, powerful message land. Thank you for protecting me for so long. Thank you for being so vigilant, so strong, so dedicated. You took on an incredibly difficult job when I was vulnerable, and you did it perfectly. You got me through. I am here, safe, because of you. I am truly, deeply grateful for your service. Feel the sincerity of these words as you offer them. This is not a trick. It is not a manipulation to get the watcher to relax. It is a genuine, heartfelt acknowledgement of a profound truth. This part of you has been your greatest protector. And for the first time, perhaps ever, it is being seen and thanked for its work. Notice what happens in your body as you offer this gratitude. Is there any shift, however small? A subtle softening? A feeling of being heard? Don't look for a big change. Just stay curious. Now comes the second part of the message, the new information. This needs to be delivered with calm, quiet authority. The authority that comes from your connection to your resilient core and from your awareness of the present moment. The words might be something like this, and I want to let you know something. Here, tonight, in this bed, in this room, we are safe. The old danger is not here. The war is over. Look around with my senses. Feel the softness of this blanket. Feel the steady support of the mattress. Listen to the quiet sounds of this house at night. There are no threats here. The perimeter is secure. You are gently guiding its attention, which is so often fixed on the past or a feared future, to the simple, tangible reality of the present. You are offering it new, real-time data to counter its old programming. You are not arguing with its past experience. You are simply stating the truth of this specific moment. You have done your job magnificently. And because you did it so well, you have brought us to this place of safety. Your mission is a success. And now, your duty is complete for tonight. And then, the most important part of the invitation, tonight, in this moment, I am safe. I am here. I am aware, and I am ready to take the watch. You may rest now. Notice the wording. This is not a dismissal. It is not go away or you are no longer needed. It is a compassionate reassignment of duties. It is a changing of the guard. You are letting the watcher know that it doesn't have to carry the burden alone anymore. You, the conscious, resilient, adult self, are present and capable. You are offering to relieve it of its post so that it, too, can experience the peace it has worked so hard to secure for you. The message is, Your work created this safety, and now you are invited to enjoy it too. You can say, "You may stand down." You can put down your heavy shield. You can rest here, beside me. If any true danger should arise, I promise we will handle it together. But for now, the night is peaceful. You have earned this rest. This internal dialogue is not a one-time fix. It is the beginning of a new relationship. You may need to have this conversation many times. The Watcher has been on duty for a very long time, and it may not trust this new information right away. It may be skeptical. That is perfectly understandable. Your job is not to convince it, but to consistently and compassionately offer the message. With every gentle reminder, with every sincere word of thanks, you are repatterning a deep, old neural pathway. You are building a new habit of internal communication based on trust, respect, and cooperation rather than conflict. So, as you continue to lie here, keep this gentle conversation going in your heart. Thank you. I see you. We are safe now. I am here. You can rest. Let this be the quiet lullaby you sing to the most vigilant, loyal, and hard-working part of yourself. You are not banishing it. You are welcoming it home. You are letting it know that its long, lonely watch is finally over, and it can come inside, into the warmth and safety of your own loving presence. As we continue this gentle dialogue, offering gratitude and reassurance to the Watcher, a new and perhaps surprising understanding about the nature of strength may begin to emerge. For so long, the Watcher's definition of strength has been about tension, rigidity, and control. It has been the strength of armor, of a clenched fist, of a wall built to keep danger out. This is a valid, primal form of strength, and it has its place. It is the strength that got you through the initial crisis. But as we seek a deeper, more sustainable peace, we come to realize that this kind of strength is incredibly costly to maintain. It consumes enormous energy and ultimately leads to brittleness. Now, as you invite the Watcher to rest, you are beginning to cultivate a different kind of power. You are beginning to realize that true, lasting strength isn't found in constant tension, but in the ability to become soft, to yield, to be flexible. From softness comes a more profound and resilient kind of strength. Consider the analogy of the trees in a storm. The mighty oak, which appears to be the epitome of strength with its rigid trunk and unbending branches, can be shattered by a powerful gust of wind. Its very rigidity becomes its downfall. It cannot adapt to the force being applied to it, and so it breaks. But the willow tree, which appears so delicate and yielding, survives the very same storm. It bends, it sways, it yields to the force of the wind, allowing the energy to move through it rather than resisting it. When the storm has passed, the willow stands tall once more, not because it was stronger in the conventional sense, but because it was more adaptable. Its strength was in its softness. For a long time, your nervous system has been operating like the oak tree, holding itself in a state of rigid preparedness. This was a necessary strategy, but now you are learning the wisdom of the willow. Every micro-softening you allow, every conscious exhale you release, every moment you rest your awareness in a neutral part of your body, these are all moments of practicing willow-like strength. You are learning to yield to the present moment rather than bracing against a potential future one. This is a profound shift. It redefines what it means to be strong. The old paradigm, the Watcher's paradigm, says, strength is holding on tighter. The new paradigm, the one you are cultivating now, says, strength is the courage to let go. It takes immense courage to soften. For a system that has learned that softness is vulnerability and vulnerability is danger, choosing to soften is a radical act of trust. It is a trust in your own resilient core. It is a trust in the safety of the present moment. Let this affirmation sink into you. Your capacity for gentleness with yourself is your greatest source of power. Read that again in your mind. My capacity for gentleness with myself is my greatest source of power. Why is this true? Because gentleness is what allows for healing. A wound cannot heal if it is constantly being picked at and held in a state of tension. It needs to be cleaned, soothed, and then left in a state of protected softness so the body's natural healing processes can work. Your nervous system is the same. It cannot recalibrate and find its way back to a state of balance if it is held in a constant state of rigid alarm. Gentleness is the balm that soothes the system. It is the signal that communicates safety more powerfully than any words. Every time you meet your tension with gentle awareness rather than frustration, you are applying this healing balm. Every time you thank the watcher instead of fighting it, you are being gentle. Every time you allow yourself to be exactly as you are, without judgment, you are practicing this profound strength. This is not about becoming weak or passive. The willow is not weak. It is powerfully rooted in the earth. Its flexibility is what allows it to stay connected to its roots. Your gentleness with yourself is not a surrender to your circumstances. It is a way of rooting yourself more deeply in your own essential strength, your own resilient core. From this rooted, flexible place, you can handle whatever life brings far more effectively than you ever could from a place of brittle rigidity. So, as you lie here, feel into this new quality of strength. Feel the strength and the softness of your body as it yields to gravity and the support of the bed. Feel the strength in the quiet, allowing nature of your breath. Feel the strength in your own compassionate attention, an attention that can hold both the tension and the ease without needing to go to war. You are moving from being a soldier in armor to being a master of a soft martial art, one that redirects energy rather than meeting it with brute force. This is a much more efficient, much more sustainable way to live. It is the path not just to surviving, but to thriving. By embracing softness, you are not abandoning the watcher. You are evolving its strategy. You are teaching it a new, more effective way to ensure your safety and well-being. A way that doesn't lead to exhaustion, but to a deep and abiding sense of peace. And that is the strongest, most protective state of all. As you rest in this newfound understanding of soft strength, let's take a moment to gently gather the experiences we've cultivated so far tonight. Like a person walking along a beach, pausing to pick up unique and beautiful shells, let's collect the small moments of peace, neutrality, and softening that have emerged during our time together. We are weaving a new possibility, a new story, thread by gentle thread. Remember the feeling, however fleeting, of that first micro-softening. The moment you gave your hand permission to be 1% less tense, and perhaps it responded with a tiny, almost imperceptible release. Hold that memory, that felt sense, in your awareness. It is a piece of evidence. Remember the quiet space at the end of your exhale, that natural pause, that built-in moment of stillness and release. Recall the feeling of resting your attention there, discovering a pocket of peace that was already present within your own breath. That is another piece of evidence. Remember the search for one safe square inch. The journey of scanning your body, not for flaws, but for a place of simple neutrality. And the moment of finding it, your earlobe, your fingertip, the space behind your knee. Remember the feeling of letting your whole world shrink down to that one small, calm anchor. That, too, is a powerful piece of evidence. We have also gathered other, more conceptual threads. The profound validation of course, which released the burden of shame. The deep gratitude offered to the watcher, which began to transform an inner conflict into a respectful partnership. The understanding of resilience, the recognition of the quiet warrior within you that has endured so much. Each of these moments, each of these insights is a thread. On their own, they might seem small, perhaps insignificant in the face of the watcher's powerful, long-held narrative of danger and damage. But when we begin to weave them together, they create a new tapestry, a tapestry that tells a different story. The core belief that we came here with tonight, the fear that you are too damaged to ever truly relax, is a very strong, very old thread. It has been woven into the fabric of your being for a long time. We are not trying to rip that thread out. That would be violent and would only create more alarm. Instead, we are gently weaving these new, softer threads of evidence alongside it. We are creating a more complex, more nuanced, and ultimately more truthful picture of who you are. The old story says, "My entire body is tense and unsafe." The new evidence, from your own direct experience tonight, gently challenges this. It says, "While there is a great deal of tension, I also found a place in my fingertip that is completely neutral. Therefore, the old story is not 100% true. The old story says, I have no control over this anxiety. The new evidence says, by shifting my attention to the pause at the end of my exhale, I can reliably touch a place of stillness, however brief. Therefore, I have more influence than I thought. The old story says, I must fight this tension and force myself to relax. The new evidence says, by offering gentle permission and gratitude, a softening can occur naturally without a fight. Therefore, gentleness might be a more effective strategy than force. Do you see what is happening here? We are not engaging in a head-on battle with the core belief. We are simply and quietly presenting new, undeniable evidence gathered from your own somatic experience. This is the most powerful way to update the Watcher's programming. The Watcher is a pragmatist. It operates on data. For years, the only data it has paid attention to is the data of threat. Tonight, you are acting as a gentle researcher, gathering new data points. The data of the quiet earlobe, the data of the soft exhale, the data of the 1%less tense muscle. You are building a case file for the possibility of safety. You are not demanding a verdict yet. You are just entering these new findings into the record. And here is the quiet, hopeful suggestion that arises from this new tapestry. If one moment of ease is possible, as you have just experienced, perhaps another is too. If you can find one safe square inch, perhaps tomorrow you might find two. If a micro softening is possible in your hand, perhaps it is also possible in your shoulder. This is not about striving for a future goal. It is a gentle, logical extrapolation from the evidence you have already gathered. It plants a seed of possibility. The old belief of being too damaged is an absolute. It is a concrete wall. But your experiences tonight have created tiny hairline cracks in that wall. A little bit of light is starting to shine through. The light of a new possibility. The possibility that you are not broken, but simply patterned. And patterns, with gentle, consistent, and compassionate attention, can change. They can evolve. They can soften. This is the hope that we are weaving. Not a loud, dramatic hope, but a quiet, steady one, built not on wishful thinking, but on the solid ground of your own direct experience. So just rest here for a moment, surrounded by these new threads. The memory of softness, the feeling of neutrality, the truth of your resilience. Let them form a new kind of blanket around you. A blanket woven from the undeniable truth that even in the heart of vigilance, peace is possible, one small moment at a time. Now, wrapped in this gentle blanket woven from new possibilities, let's begin to shift our focus towards the simple, undeniable physical reality of this moment. Let's move from the complexities of the inner world to the profound simplicity of the outer world, specifically to the relationship between your body and the surface that is holding you. It's time to feel the weight of your own body. This may sound incredibly basic, and it is. That is precisely where its power lies. The watcher thrives on complexity, on what-ifs, and memories and future projections. The simple, grounding sensation of your own physical weight is an anchor in the here and now, a place where those complex narratives cannot easily follow. Bring all of your attention to the points of contact between your body and the mattress. Feel where the back of your head touches the pillow. Feel the place where your shoulder blades press into the surface beneath you. Notice the contact at your elbows, the backs of your hands, your hips, your calves, your heels. Just feel these pressure points without any need to change them. They are the places where the earth, through your bed, is meeting you. And in these places, there is a force at work, a silent, constant, completely reliable force, gravity. Gravity is pulling your body downwards, towards the center of the earth. It is not a hostile force. It is a reassuring, anchoring force. It is what keeps us from floating away. It is what gives us a sense of place, of belonging to this world. Tonight, we are going to befriend gravity. We are going to see it not as something that weighs us down, but as something that holds us. As you feel this gentle but insistent pull, can you allow yourself to surrender to it? Can you release the need to hold yourself up? For so much of the day, you are working against gravity. Your muscles are engaged in the constant, unconscious work of keeping you upright, of holding your head high, of moving you through the world. It is a monumental effort that we take for granted. But now, at night, in this bed, that work is no longer required of you. The bed and the floor and the solid earth beneath them have taken over that job completely. Your only task is to let them. So, can you give the weight of your head fully to the pillow? Can you let go of the tiny muscles in your neck that might still be trying to hold it, just in case? Let the pillow take the full, heavy weight. It is designed for this. It can handle it. Can you give the weight of your torso fully to the mattress? Let your shoulders, your back, your hips sink into its surface. Imagine you could become 10% heavier, allowing gravity to have its way with you. The mattress will not fail. It will hold you. This is a profound act of trust, but it's not a psychological one. It's a physical one. You are trusting the laws of physics. You are trusting the structural integrity of your bed and your home. This can be a much easier place to start than trusting that the world is emotionally safe. We begin by trusting that the floor is solid. This act of physically letting go, of allowing yourself to be fully supported, sends a powerful message of safety to your nervous system. It is a somatic communication that says, I am held. I do not have to hold myself together right now. I can release my own effort because I am supported by something larger and stronger than myself. Feel the sheer relief in this, the release of the burden of self-support. You have been holding so much for so long. The tension in your body is the physical manifestation of that holding. But right now, you don't have to hold your own body up. You can let it go. You can let it be heavy. This is not about relaxing in the conventional sense. It is about ceasing to strive. It is about surrendering the effort of holding. Imagine you are a small boat that has been tossed on a stormy sea. You've been working hard to stay afloat, to keep from capsizing. And now, you have sailed into a perfectly calm, safe harbor. The water is still. The anchor is down. You can turn off the engine. You can stop holding the tiller. You can simply float, held by the buoyant, supportive water. Your bed is this harbor. Gravity is the calm water. And you are the boat, finally able to rest, to cease all effort, and to simply be held. As you continue to sink into this feeling of being supported, you might notice that the boundaries between your body and the bed begin to soften. It becomes harder to tell where you end and the mattress begins. This is a good sign. It is a sign of surrender. A sign that the watcher is beginning to agree that this surface, at least, can be trusted. There is nothing left for you to do. Nothing to solve. Nothing to hold. Just this. The simple, profound, grounding sensation of your own weight being held completely and unconditionally by the surface beneath you. Let this feeling be your primary reality for the next few moments. Let it be the truth that quiets all other stories. You are heavy. You are held. You are safe. And now, resting in the deep comfort of being held, feeling the solid ground beneath you, a new phase begins. A slow, gentle unfurling. The time for active practice is fading. The time for conscious exploration is dissolving. Now, we simply allow. Our language becomes slower now, with more space, more quiet. The words themselves begin to mimic the slow, gentle descent into rest that your body is yearning for. There is a natural intelligence within you, an ancient wisdom that knows the path to sleep. We are now simply stepping out of its way, creating the gentle conditions for it to emerge. Imagine, if you will, a tightly coiled fern frond in the deep, quiet forest. All of its potential, all of its life, is held within that tight spiral. It is a posture of protection, of waiting. It does not force itself to open. It simply waits for the right conditions, the right warmth, the right moisture, the right light. And when those conditions are met, it begins to unfurl. Slowly, imperceptibly at first. There is no effort, no striving in this movement. It is a pure act of becoming, a yielding to the life force that flows through it. Tonight, the vigilant part of you has been like that tightly coiled fern, holding on, protecting, waiting. And now, through our gentle companionship, through the warmth of your own compassion, the conditions are becoming right, and perhaps a slow, gentle unfurling can begin. You don't have to make it happen. You simply allow it. Feel into your body and sense this possibility, the possibility of the tight coil in your stomach beginning to soften, to open, just a fraction. The possibility of your clenched hands loosening their grip. not because they are told to, but because they feel safe enough to. The possibility of the armor around your heart melting just a little at the edges. This is not something you do. It is something you witness. A slow, natural, organic process of release. Or perhaps another image resonates more with you. Imagine a flower that has been closed tightly against the cold of the night. A night-blooming jasmine, perhaps. As the evening deepens and the air becomes still and safe, it begins to open its petals, one by one, slowly revealing the fragrance and beauty at its heart. The opening is not a decision. It is a response to the safety and quiet of its environment. You have created a safe and quiet environment within yourself tonight, an environment of non-judgment, of gratitude, of gentle permission. And now, the flower of your own being can begin to open to the night. There is nothing left for you to do. This is so important to hear. The part of you that is always trying, always fixing, always managing, can finally be given permission to rest. There is nothing to solve before you can sleep. There are no problems from your day that must be figured out right now. They will wait for you, and you will meet them with more resources after you have rested. There is nothing to hold, not the tension in your body, not the worries in your mind. You have already allowed gravity to hold your body, and now you can allow the vast, quiet space of the night to hold your thoughts. Let them drift. Let them come and go. They are just clouds passing in the immense sky of your awareness. You don't need to cling to them or push them away. Just this gentle descent into rest. Feel yourself sinking softly into the mattress, sinking gently into the quiet, sinking peacefully into the stillness that is here. With every slow breath out, you are letting go just a little bit more. You are unfurling. You are opening. You are descending. The watcher, your loyal protector, may still be there, but perhaps its posture has changed. Perhaps it is no longer standing at rigid attention. Perhaps it is now leaning against the wall, its shield resting on the ground beside it. It is still aware, but its vigilance has softened into a quiet presence. It is beginning to trust that you are safe here. It is beginning to trust that you, your deeper self, can handle the watch. And so it allows this slow, gentle descent. It allows the unfurling. It allows the quiet to deepen and the mind to soften. There's no goal here, not even sleep. There's only this process, this slow, gentle unfolding. Trust this process. Your body has known how to do this since you were born. It knows the way. All you have to do is allow and let go and drift. Just this gentle descent into the deep, healing quiet of the night. And so we drift. Here, at the edge of sleep, the conscious mind releases its grip, allowing thoughts to wander and flow like a slow, meandering river in the moonlight. The need for linear logic dissolves, replaced by the dreamlike poetry of the subconscious. We are not directing this river. We are simply floating upon its gentle current, trusting it to carry us where we need to go. We began this journey by speaking to the guard at the gate, the part of you that feared you were too damaged to ever truly rest. We sat with that loyal protector, not as an adversary, but as a friend. We listened to its story, honored its service, and thanked it for its tireless devotion. We learned that its vigilance was not a flaw, but a form of love, a brilliant survival strategy that had simply outlived its original purpose. What does it mean to be damaged? Is a tree damaged when a storm breaks a branch, prompting it to grow in a new, more resilient direction? Is a shoreline damaged when the tides relentlessly reshape it, leaving behind a new and beautiful landscape of smooth stones and sculpted sand? Perhaps what we call damage is simply the evidence of a life fully lived, the marks left by the profound and necessary work of adaptation and survival. Perhaps these patterns of tension and vigilance are not scars of brokenness, but sacred texts written into the body, telling the epic story of your own strength. Tonight, we did not try to erase that story. We learned to read it with compassion. We found the moments of softness that existed alongside the tension, the quiet neutrality hidden within the alarm. We discovered that strength is not always found in the rigid shield of the oak, but in the yielding grace of the willow. A different kind of power, one born not of resistance, but of acceptance. We wove these new experiences into the old narrative, creating a richer, more complete tapestry. The story is no longer just, I am vigilant. It is now, I carry the wisdom of vigilance, and I am also learning the art of release. I feel tension, and I can also find pockets of profound peace. My past has shaped me, but my present awareness is reshaping me, moment by gentle moment. This is the quiet alchemy of healing. It is not a dramatic event, but a slow, cumulative process of small shifts in perspective, of tiny moments of grace, of one conscious exhale followed by another. It is the gradual realization that the safety you have been seeking outside of yourself can be cultivated within. What if true safety is not the absence of all potential threat, but the presence of your own compassionate, unwavering attention? What if the ultimate safe harbor is your own heart, a space wide enough to hold both the storm and the stillness, the fear and the courage, the exhausted protector and the wise, resilient core? As you drift now, release the need for any answers. Let these questions be like soft, glowing embers in the hearth of your being, offering a gentle, contemplative light. The night holds a wisdom all its own. It is a time for dissolving, for letting go of the hard edges of the self we construct during the day. Sleep is a place of deep trust, a return to the primal source. It is an act of surrendering our small, individual will to the vast, intelligent mystery that breathes us, beats our heart, and guides the stars in their silent, celestial dance. Your body knows this ancient wisdom. It knows how to rest, how to heal, how to dream. You don't have to teach it. You only have to allow it. Trust that the conversations we have had tonight have been heard by every cell in your being. Trust that the seeds of peace and possibility have been planted in the fertile ground of your awareness. They will grow in their own time, nurtured by the darkness and the deep quiet. There is nothing more for you to do. You have done enough. You have been brave enough. You are enough. Sleep is coming to welcome you now, like a gentle tide rising to meet the shore, washing away the footprints of the day and leaving everything clean, smooth, and new for the morning.